Okay, I prepped already my palette. I have blue-green, it's called Jade, but yeah, it's more like a bluish green color, blue-gray. I took some warm yellow, I have two different yellows, but when you put them side by side, you see like this is a bit more orangey than this one. And I like this one, it gives a bit more flavor. I don't want to say it like that. And just a base green. And with that, we will take a big brush, bit of water, and then start off with our blue green and just coat our entire screen with that. It's also okay if you go a bit overboard, if you don't hit every piece. Okay, after a few more coats, while the things are still a bit wet, mix in a bit of our green and then go into the top right corner. The thing you want to aim for here is a nice gradient from our blue to our green. Okay, let it dry a bit more off camera. And now we're going a bit back with our dark blue. I want to have really it emphasized here in the corner and the green more here up top. And we just interchangeably, I just take a bit of the darker blue, a bit of the green, and just dab it mostly on there. Not like try to do big brush strokes. I want to use the model as my mixing palette. That's how I mostly see it. If you want, you can like take your darker color as like a base coat and let that dry off and like have it really clean. Then you don't have those black spots looking like peeking out behind. But I think that is okay because we will put over some glazes and different things to hide those imperfections. And we also come in with the yellow as well to give it a bit more of a brightening up. Okay, now I will start adding a bit of the yellow. To really emphasize the lighting difference, I also like to sometimes just like take one of my lighter colors and drag it a bit forward into the darker area so you see see a bit more what happened. Sometimes you get a bit lost in seeing your colors where you don't then see your gradient anymore. But I think you start to see what I wanted to do with my different colors. Can push it a bit more here in the top corner. Can also take the other corner and add some color variation there to like really make the thing pop. We also turn around our little boyo and try to do the same with the underside. If you're doing something like that, try to have a comfortable position with brush and hand and arms, and also take a deep breath beforehand. It helps a lot. We do like some stripes, so we have like a, I don't know, different variations of our object. The thing is, we will go in with a very bright green and do like a matrix thing. So I'm trying not to go as bright with my yellow. But just bright enough so you read it as a screen. I think we are going a bit overboard with our yellow here. I need to tone that a bit back. Okay, now I'm at a result where I'm happy. I will let that dry off a bit, and then I think we give it like a nice edge highlight with our bright green on the top, and with our dark blue we do the same in the bottom, so we have a bit of contrasting. And we take our yellow and mix it a bit here with fluorescent color, and what that does is giving the writings we do on the tablet a bit more of a pop. So we are already pretty bright here on the top edge, and we are going to push it after drying a bit further. So we need something that is going even further beyond, if you understand that. It's the same principle I used here for the lenses. I had a gradient from a dark red to a lighter red, and then added some white highlights also at the bottom. And when this was dry, I took this orange fluorescent color and just glazed it over the bottom part, so that really gave it that pop of color. Okay, I worked a bit more on the gradient, and as you can see, I gave it here a top highlight and also a very light bottom one. And what we will do now is, I'm pre-mixed here a bit of a very light green. Here you have the contrast. And now we will mix a tiny bit of our fluorescent paint in there. Then you have another comparison. And still with our big brush, we create a nice tip. And I was thinking of like having like a box here on the side and here some scribbles. We will start off with sketching out our box. With those things you need to work a bit faster because you want to have a nice tip. That means that is the part that has the least amount of moisture in there, and it's also the thing that is drying off the quickest. Can also do like a small little graph here. When you're doing those small scribble things, you need to watch out where you end with your brush, because you will always leave a bit of paint residue over at the point where you stop, and that can really fuck over your freehand. There we go. Nothing too fancy. Just give it like a dash through here. I think I fucked it up. Now we can save it. Yeah. Nice. Here I wanted to draw in like a little mushroom. Okay, now for cleaning up our imperfections, I will try to match the color as close as possible and then try to clean them up a bit. I know that will not be 100% perfect, but it is such a small detail, and we are painting for our personal gain, that no one will notice. This needs a bit more green in there. That is a bit the problem when you are working with the gradient as the background, that you need to try to match it as close as possible. But I think we hit it fairly good. also push our brighter parts that now in hindsight I think look a bit too bright. A bit more here to the side and to the edges. Just, it's also okay if you go a bit over your freehand here. My data splotches I did, I think I will paint over a bit. There we go. We painted a little display on our man. Like, we have it like sitting like that. Perfect. If you look a bit closer, yeah, it's a bit wonky here and there, but you have a bit of our gradient. It looks like a digital screen. Has like a cool graph. Graphs are always nice. You have like a funny picture of a mushroom. And our little man is looking at the screen.